coach you. I have an amazing coach today. It is Ray Higdon. I know you're excited. So let me get everybody in. And of course, let's kick this off. Welcome to Free Coaching Friday. Good morning, Mr. Ray Higdon.
All right. What is up? What's happening? Yes. Welcome. Happy Free Coaching Friday. Let's do it. Happy Friday. Hope you are well. Hope you're making it happen. Let me just kick off the little banner thing. All right. Excellent. So greetings from Boise. I'm here I leave tonight, actually. I was out here hanging out with my friend, Mr. Russell Brunson. Ran into a few other rock stars like Eileen Wilder and a few other people. And just a great time. A lot of learning and connecting yesterday, and excited for today. All right. So you guys know how this rolls. Some of you are on the ball. You already got your hands raised. All right. Good. We're starting with the Jays today. Okay. Let me just do this. And just a reminder for those that are RankMaker lifers, we have our once a month group coaching here in 2 hours. And right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. I'm in a different time zone, so I get easily screwed up there. But yeah, in 2 hours we have our once a month RankMaker lifer coaching. And so if you're a lifer, make sure that if you want to be on that, be on it. I don't have to say you have to be. All right. So here we go. Let's start with Joya. We should always start with Joya. Yes. What's happening?
Hello.
So how can I help you? What's the number one thing I can help you with?
Thank you for your time. I am an Enagic distributor. And so you probably know the process where I've got 4 incredible women who have opted into my discovery process. So I ran a promo. I was like, I've got 5 free discovery process spaces available for my birthday. 4 of them opted in, and I've had conversations with them on Zoom, on DMs. Things have been going great. And now it's kind of like I'm getting ghosted by most of them. One of them is looking into finances. She's got a lot of financial blocks to join, but just wanted to see if you had any question or feedback on follow-up. I'm trying not to want it too bad, but all of them I've connected with, and they would be incredible teammates. So any follow-up advice?
All of you guys do it slightly different, right? So, I've coached, Colton and Priscilla's team, did some work with the Dream Team, Samara, Lacey, Carly, Christy in Australia. Like I've all of y'all do them slightly different, right? And so some of them have, when they buy a web class, then you do the discovery. Had they bought anything?
I gave it to them for free. Normally It's a $99.
Right.
I'm under the Lucy Carly
downline.
So I'm like, here's free gift for my birthday to try to, add value, but they got it for free. And they've been telling me, I'm working through the videos. I'm almost done with the videos. 2 of them I Zoomed with on Monday night. We did Q&A. The call to action was to book a 1-to-1 call to get set up, and I haven't heard back yet.
Yeah. So, it's interesting. Yesterday, again, I was hanging out with Russell Brunson. For those that don't know, Russell is the co-founder of ClickFunnels, one of the top 3 marketers in the world, and just a brilliant guy. And, he's big. For those that don't know, he's a big wrestler. Okay. He loves to wrestle. Like he wrestled, in, college, and he won this. I think he won the state championships. I don't know wrestling. So he was very, very good. And so he hires this former Olympic gold medalist wrestler when he was very young, and to coach him, right? And so the guy, he gets a knock on the door, it's pretty late, and he opens the door, and it was the wrestling coach, and he's like, and he had a VHS tape in his hand. For those that don't know, this is a way some of us used to watch movies and things. And so he's got a VHS tape in his hand, and he's like, Russell. And I think Russell's, I don't know, 16 or something. I didn't get, the full nuances of the story, but he's like 16. And the guy, the Olympic coach, says, Russell, where's your wallet? And Russell's like, he goes, go get your wallet. And he's like, oh, okay. And so he goes and gets his wallet, and his coach takes the wallet, opens it, and takes every dollar that he has out of the wallet, right? Which, back then Russell said it might have been $12, right? And so he then hands him the tape, and he says, I want you to watch this. And Russell's like, okay, but why'd you take my money? And he says, those who pay attention. If I just gave you this tape, you would have just left it alone. You probably wouldn't have even watched it. And so those who pay attention. And, and that's true on so many levels. And for those of you who are with faith, that's Matthew 6:21, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also, right? And so, most people, and here I am doing free coaching Friday, right? Most people that don't have skin in the game don't take it seriously. There are people that are more concerned about holding on to their money than having a breakthrough in their business. And so they look for all the cheapy ways to do stuff. Now, I'm not saying you're doing that, but and I'm also not saying never give anything away. I'm not saying that, but I'll give you the example I gave Samara's team last night. In fact, I think I did it with Carly and Lacey's team too, because I had both two group coachings yesterday with those guys. And when we had these things called CDs, and CDs contained audio files that one would listen with ears, and you'd have like a corded headphone, right? And so we had made these audio CDs that explained the business. And this, I was the number one income earner of the network marketing company. We would, we sold these CDs, and some people in the downline would, get them out to people, right? Well, the amateurs would just, get a bunch of them and just hand them out willy-nilly. Me, although I had, 1,000 of them in my trunk, I held on to them, right? And I prided them, and I treated them with honor. And so if I met with someone and I felt like it'd be a good move to give them the audio CD, I'd say, you know what, let me check in my car. I may have a CD left. I'm not positive, but let me go check. So I would go, I'd open the trunk with 1,000 CDs in it. I would grab one of them, shut the trunk, and I would, I'd come back into the restaurant or something. I would be holding it. I'm like, okay, you're in luck. I got one. Now I'm going to give you this, but I'm going to need it back Wednesday, because I got another guy I'm meeting with, and this guy's serious. And so you can, as long as you can listen to it before Wednesday, I'm happy to give it to you. If not, then I'll just hold on to it for my guy. Oh, no, I don't. They would listen to it every single time. And I didn't care about getting it back, but I needed to honor the process so that they would honor this wonderful thing that they've gotten. And so I don't know how much you honored the gifting of the thing.
I would say I tried to do some of that verbiage of this is special. Let me see. I think
did they qualify for it? Did they have to do something to
they had to reply to an organic story lead where I was like, sign up here. Or I think one of them replied to my email marketing, reply interested, but there wasn't that was about it. They had to ask for it. And I was like, okay,
I would have
get it done in 2 weeks. Yes, I
can. I would have because a lot of time this happens to me all the time, right? Where I'm brought in, hey Ray, I've got this process that isn't postured at all. How do we posture up now? And I'm like, well, okay, we can only do so much, right?
Right. I see what you're saying.
If you had, hey, I'm going to pick 5 people, tell me why you should be one of those 5. You convince me. Why should I gift this to you? I sell these things all the time. People from all over the world buy this. Why should I give it to you? Why would I want to give it to you? Why are you the one that should have this thing? And make them qualify for it. And so, and this is a very sound, just psychological, process is if you want someone to do something, make them qualify for it. And so as far as
I've had a lot of discussion about this whole thing with the other ladies and different teams, because some people give it for free and most people give it for 99, and then you can opt to give it. So this is my first ability, because I own the funnel now, to give it for free. So I was like, I'll try free first. So this is my first time even really doing the whole process.
And you could even
I really do. I kind of want to try it that way.
So all right. So now that I've beaten you up over, shame on you. Right? I'm not trying to beat you up, but I'm just saying in the future, think about that. Yep. So here we are now, right? And so definitely one of the, suggestions is, we never get too tied up on any one prospect or any 4 or 5 prospects, right? So we don't want to get too, it's like, Herbert Cohen is an international negotiator. He wrote a bunch of different books. One of them is Negotiate. You can negotiate anything, negotiate this. And if I had to sum up all of his, I read, I think 3 of his books. And if I had to sum up all 3 of his books, it's like, you want to care, but not that much. Yeah. When you're negotiating, when you're working with something or someone, it doesn't mean don't care about them. It just don't care about the result. Right. Yes. So if you're negotiating a car buy, you want to, just like, you want to care, like, I want this thing, but not that much. I don't need it. I don't have to have this person move forward. And so that would be advice. And then from here, it would be, my standard 3-step. Now that I've given you all that, it would be my standard 3-step follow-up. So the standard 3-step follow-up is, and it plugs into when they're not doing what you want them to do, or they start ghosting you. So step 1 would be, now how long has it been now? Oh, by the way, happy birthday, whenever it was.
Oh, yeah, we could do that. Since they got the discovery process.
Since the last time they talked to
them. 2 of them was Monday night. Well, one of them did follow up with me yesterday. She's looking into her finances this weekend. The other one was Monday night. And then I think it was pretty much all of them were on Monday. 2 of them, all of them on Monday. One of them yesterday.
Okay, so the ones that are Monday, so you've sent them messages, you have not heard from them since Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for
one
those,
of them was like, grandmother's dying in the hospital. I got to be with my family. So I'm like, one of them just was like, I'm going to come to your call tonight, and then she didn't show up. And one of them came to my call. I opened up a call just for Q&A, and I haven't heard back from her. The 4th one had a lot of money objections. We went back and forth a little bit yesterday. She's looking into her financial options this weekend.
So besides the grandmother dying, right? We're not going to put too much pressure on her. We're going to have sympathy, right? But the others that don't have grandma dying and didn't talk to you, yesterday, we're going to say, hey, I haven't heard from you. Let me know if this is something that you're no longer wanting to move forward with. Let me know. It's going to be like that. Now, there's a decent chance that they won't reply to that. And so the next message would be, hey, haven't heard from you. Let me know if you want me to just mark you off my list. Now, if you don't hear from them from there, then the 3rd message is the one that they will respond to almost always. And that is, hey, I'm going to mark you off my list, but I wish you the best that life has to offer. That's the one that everyone's scared to send, but that's the one that almost everyone replies to.
Yeah, you talked about that at the conference too.
You got to build to that. You don't just hit them with that, right? You got to build to that. I coached someone yesterday. That went from 0 to 60 in one message. I'm like, whoa, like, hey, don't drop that on them.
Can you say that 3rd one more time?
Hey, I'm going to mark you off the list, but I wish you the best that life has to offer. And do not add to it. I know you guys like to add stuff, but if you're ever interested again, let me know. Don't do it. I know it's tempting, but if you change your mind, I'm right here. I'm a call away. I've seen all this stuff. I've seen all this added niceness and baloney that it just doesn't work. It's not postured. Yeah. So that's where I would go, based on us being here now.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for all of that. Very helpful.
You got it. All right. Very nice. We got Janelle, the rock star. What's happening?
Hello.
Hey.
How are you, Ray?
Good.
All right. So since last Friday, I started the cold messaging. This is my very first time ever doing it. Listening to your books, and all your advice. So I sent out from last Friday. I started to today. I didn't do shit. I sent out 70. I received 5 no's. One person asked to jump on a call, and 5 people were open to finding out more information. So
Okay.
it's just like a total, this is all brand new for me. So I said, let me just jump on and just throw that at you and continue doing what I'm doing. Is there something that I'm looking for to know if I'm kind of doing it correctly? I know it's like the go
Can
for
you-
no. I only got like
Can you-
5 no's.
Can you bring up any conversations? It's hard for me to say unless I'm seeing the conversations.
Yeah. So I basically, my message that I was sending was, hey, with
But
your
if you can
name,
show
hope
it to
I'm-
me, because a lot of times
Okay.
there's a word or 2 in there
Okay.
that I'm like, let's change, let's tweak that.
So I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that was like can you see it?
No. Yeah. Oh, can I see an actual conversation?
Oh, yeah, okay, so like my Facebook.
Yeah. So or Instagram or whatever you're using.
Yeah, okay. All right.
maybe
let me
pick
just get a message.
Maybe pick one conversation that you think, hey, I'd love Ray's
Okay.
feedback on this, because it
All
helps
right,
me to see
fine.
what they say and then how you responded.
I think I got one. Okay, let me share the screen again. I'm sorry. Click this. Okay. Nope. All right, so can you see over to the side?
Yeah. Can you make that? Can you go into Messenger and like show it where it's bigger? You know what I'm saying? So if you go up to the top right and do say show in Messenger, yeah, right there, and then somewhere it'll So there you go.
Make this
Yeah, I think
bigger?
that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go. And so
Okay,
go back and
so
pick that.
So what message was it? I think it was this one. Okay. All right.
All right,
So
let me zoom in here. So okay, hold on, don't scroll yet. And you don't know this person, right?
No, I don't know any of them.
Okay, all right. So it's not a standard message that I would do.
Okay.
It's a little different.
Okay.
Your replies aren't that bad, right? So usually just think about when someone you don't know sends you a message, and what do you think when a stranger sends you a message? You're probably thinking, what do they want? Number one, and why me? Why are you reaching out to me? And so your message is missing that part of, okay, she's just sending this to a million people. And, and hey, some people that maybe don't get any messages ever will be like, yeah, awesome. But most people are going like, well, why is she reaching out to me? And so I usually anchor it to occupation or location. Hey, I see that you're in Dallas, Texas. It's a powerful word to use. We are looking to expand our business in Dallas. Would you be open to taking a look at how we're helping people make extra money online? You see what I mean?
Okay.
So
yeah,
or you could go occupation. Hey, I see that you're a realtor. We happen to work with a lot of realtors, help them make extra money on the side. If you're open to it, I'd be happy to share it with you. If not, totally cool.
okay.
So like maybe catch I'm sure you couldn't write that down, but maybe catch the, recording on that. I believe 20 years of doing this, you'll get a higher percentage response because we're fitting that, we're answering that question, why them? Well, it's because they're a realtor, or it's because they're in Dallas, right? And so you are telling what you want. So, I am glad that you're getting some responses here. Okay, so yes, sure. Awesome. I'll send over short overviews. Okay, so it was Thursday, then this morning. Yeah, I mean, is that the last message?
And then I sent
Perfect.
the link at the bottom.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, you can stop sharing.
Okay.
There, not a lot of meat on their side for me to kind of go off of. But I think that's fairly soft, approach. Watch it when you want, kind of thing. The good news is you can get out a lot of those messages, and if you keep compounding that and keep doing that, you're going to be generating plenty of leads, no question. You may at some point, although it's easier for me, you may at some point try audio, because some people are going to think that's an AI bot or think it's automated or something like that. And if people think it's automated, a lot of times they won't even respond. And so you may try, so, I mean, her name was Nini Beanie. So, hey, Nini Beanie, I see that you're a waitress, and, we help waitresses make extra money, and so you may try that and just see. But if I wouldn't know if I could guess this or not. Are you an analytical kind of person?
Yes, ish. I mean, breaking down the numbers, that's what I was kind of doing.
You're probably like a red green, I would guess. You're like a red green, I would guess.
Yeah.
And so, if you have some of that green, if you have some of that analytical, then not everyone will do this. Some people would hear this and be like, oh, hell no, I'm not doing that. But if you have some green, then you could actually track, okay, I sent 70 messages this way, 70 messages this way, which one worked better? And so just go with the one, that works better. I think nowadays a short audio, and keep in mind the audio is the same purpose as the text. It is, some people get on audio and they're just like, blah, 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 blah. Right? It's not to be this big long diatribe or even a pitch. It's to do the same thing you're doing in that text.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
I hate getting like messages like that from people. I just delete them. Like I don't even give them a chance.
What?
Like if somebody cold messages me, like I just delete them. Like I don't have any interest on patients for it. So I'm trying to like take myself out of that. And like you're saying, like, okay, why are they choosing me? So maybe if I get a little bit of that in this, that's why I have a hard time relating to like doing this, but I've never done it and I'm learning and it's all brand new. So I just needed like a little more direction so I can pound it out this week again and like, just keep learning from it.
Yeah. Yeah. And a more red personality would not like those messages, but not everyone's like you. And, and there's, we just have plenty of stories of, even in your own company, Christy, generating $100,000 in personal commissions from 60 days of doing this. And so like, there are people out there that do respond, not all of them. Right. But there's nothing we can do that would make everyone respond. And so, I would say, keep at it. And the cool thing about this is you don't need an ad budget. Literally anyone on the planet could do this. You don't even have to do videos it is, although not everyone likes it, and that's the battle I fought for 20 years of teaching this stuff. Not everyone likes it. It does work. If you do it, it works.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you so much, Ray.
You got it. Okay. Michelle, are you able to be on camera or no? I can't highlight you if you're not. Here she comes. All right. Okay. There she is. What's happening?
Hi,
She's
Ray.
excited.
How are you?
Good.
I'm new to Enagic. Not even 2 months.
Am I getting? It's the Enagic Free Coaching Friday. That's cool.
And I am trying to balance my own life, my work,
You're breaking up
exactly
some.
sure like what I should be doing. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah. I mean, I'm in a
Hello?
hotel, so I don't, it might be me, but okay, I can hear you now, at least.
Okay. You can hear me? Okay. So I'm trying to balance my home life, my work life, and also the water business. And I'm very good at, like, I started doing videos, of like, my home stuff, but I'm not doing stuff really about the water. I don't know really why I'm feeling uncomfortable talking about the water. And I just don't know where to start, what to do. I did think about the cold calling, and I just not sure.
Yeah.
And if I have a block or not.
Yeah. So, I mean, the biggest part of this answer would depend on your goals, right?
Mhm.
If you're wanting to make a couple $1,000 a month, like, it's not that difficult, to do, and not that difficult to maintain balance. If you're wanting to do $50,000 a month, then you're going to require a season of unbalance. And there's a great, I think I'm growing as a person, but I historically have hated long podcasts. So my wife watches all the Rogans, all the Sean Ryans, all the whatever, and I see this 3-hour thing. I'm like, oh God, kill me. And but I recently watched. It's a podcast with Kevin O'Leary, and it's on the Diary of a CEO podcast. It's fantastic. It's about 2.5 hours, but he talks about how if you got big goals, like, you're not going to be balanced. Like, that's just not how it works. But the most important part of balance is presence. So too often the mom that wants to be present, the mom that wants to be balanced is on their phone at the dinner table. And then when they're working, they're thinking about their kids and having mom guilt, right? That's not presence. They're literally not present anywhere. And so the quality version of you, because you're never, I'm not saying that for you. I'm just saying I've noticed it in a lot of, especially women, I think. Men are typically better compartmentalizing of, I am working on my business, and, I think they say, men are like waffles and women are more like spaghetti, where everything's kind of, oh, we lost her. Okay. It was her connection. Well, if you come back on, Michelle, let us know. But for everyone else, and maybe she'll be back. If you're serious about building a business, regardless of your goals, Michelle, are you back?
I am back. Sorry.
Okay. Will you raise your hand so I can locate you? Your digital hand. Doop. React. Bop. There you go. All right. Okay. Let's bring you back. So now that I've said all that, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to one question on if you are going to build a business or not. And that is, how many people did you ask last week if they were open to your product, service, or opportunity? That's what it comes down to, period. And so it's, we can study AI all day. We can work Canva. We can watch Free Coaching Friday. We can read books. We can do all that stuff. But at the end of the day, if we don't have a number for how many people did ask if they were open to my product, in your case, product or opportunity, then we're not going to build a business. And so, and again, it does depend on, so if I had a goal of, $2,000 a month, or, less than $5,000 a month, if I consistently reach out to, I'd say 5 people a day, and I do that consistently for 12 months, I should be at that income. If I have a goal of, 50K, then I'm going to have to be 20, 30 a day minimum for a year and that's barring some kind of luck. Now, sometimes when you are consistently showing up, you will have luck. I had luck, like my 4th month, I didn't have any duplication at all. But at the end of that 4th month, I brought in a guy who personally recruited 290 people in the next 90 days. And blew me up. I made, I don't know exactly how much, but I probably made $500,000 off that one person, and became the number one income earner of the company. So like with showing up and with consistency, you do get better and you do get lucky. When we're inconsistent, we don't get better and we don't get lucky usually. Does that make sense?
Now, do you think, yeah, it does. Now, do you think the cold messaging is the way to do it?
I mean, it's one of the ways, it's not, just to go on the record. I mean, I'm like the only guy that teaches this in this space, because it's not socially cool to teach it. So all the other trainers shy away from it. It's not my favorite method, but it is a method that any human being, anyone that breathes oxygen can do. Not everyone wants to do attraction marketing. Not everyone wants to do ads. Not everyone wants to do influence, be an influencer and do that show. Anyone can do this, right? If they do or not, it's up to them. But it is it is a numbers game. Doesn't mean people are numbers, but it is a numbers game of what effort you put in. And so again, my preference is to build a brand, but not everyone wants to build a brand. And that does take effort. It takes usually money to get a coach or something like that. So yeah, I share this often. I'm sure some of you have heard it, but one of our students, Christina Danielle, she's been the number one recruiter in her company for 5 years straight, beating all the influencers, and all she does is cold messaging using my scripts. And the crazy thing about that is she's in a pet food company, doesn't have a pet. So, you know what I mean? You don't, you got to hit the numbers. And she talks about that. I interviewed her. I'm pretty sure it's on my YouTube channel, but I interviewed her and she broke down exactly what she does and exactly, and she learned the scripts from me, reaches out to people on Google, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and does it consistently and doesn't care if someone moves forward or not. She's absolutely bulletproof to rejection. So
okay.
I hope that helps.
Yeah.
Rooting for you.
Thank you so much. It does. Thank you.
Got it. Okay. Let's go to Gina, it looks like.
It's Jenna.
Jenna. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
man.
So I'm also with Enagic, and I have been using your 3-step process, and it's working great. And just like you said, people respond on the last one. My question, what I've been getting a few of, and I'm not sure how to respond to it, is on that last one, after I say, I'm marking you off my list, they come back and say, hey, thanks so much. I'll reach out when I'm ready.
It means
and
they were
I've
never
done like 3 or 4 of those, but I'm like, do you respond? Do you say nothing? Do you follow up with them at some point? Or
it means they were never serious. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Just so you're aware. So if I was getting a lot of that, I would look at, am I just not being postured higher up in the conversations? So if I'm getting a lot of that, like I should not be wasting my time on people not serious. And so I would look at my so that would be a signal for me to like, let me look at my conversations here. What clue did I miss? And
so these are the people that I'm talking about are for water that I've met at events or came through like a reel. So, and something I've learned about myself in the last few months is like, I did not have that posture, and I wasn't asking the right questions to really separate like a true prospect from a suspect. So that's kind of what I'm doing now with the people that I have, is separating out those people who are still truly interested with those that aren't using this 3-step follow-up.
Yeah. You'll get less and less than that. Again, it's always interesting when the first half of the conversation is non-postured and then you start to get posture. Sometimes it'll click over and work, and a lot of times it won't. It's just they still see themselves as the prize, and they still think you're chasing them, and so it won't work. But yeah, the more you implement posture throughout the conversation, the less you'll get of that. The more you'll get people say, no, I am serious. Like they'll stop you from that. However, when you do say, hey, I'm going to mark you off the list, so this depends on a few factors. Okay. But it doesn't mean I do mark them off a list. I can always go back to them if I want. And there's a couple factors that would dictate that, but I can always go back to them with an update deflection. So I have a training in inside of Rank Makers that I do around that. But an update deflection is where you're saying, hey, I just noticed that you're a realtor or whatever, waitress, stay-at-home mom, whatever. I just noticed that you're this occupation. And I was actually on a team call last night, and there's a lady that's a realtor that's absolutely killing this thing. I know it's not a fit for you. That's the deflection part. But do you know anyone that know any realtors that may want to make some extra money? Know any waitresses that may want to make some extra money? So you can always do that. Now, what are the factors? The factors are how many leads am I generating? So when I was generating 3,000 leads a month without ads, I'm not going back to all these people unless I saw that they were really influential. Like if they had a big following or something, and I'm like, okay, let me star that one. Let me come back to that one. And so, I would, have those kind of scenarios where I might drip on someone, continuously. I was teaching that at an event in Fort Myers, Florida, quite a few years ago. And this guy, local guy, he ran a payroll. He worked with a lot of business owners in their payroll department. So he worked for ADP, and he helped them with their payroll. So I knew he was a great connection. And so he raised his hand. He goes, "Hey, can I share what you did with me?" I'm like, "Sure." I actually didn't remember. I followed up with that guy every few months for 7 years. And I just didn't care. It's not like I'm like, "Oh, please come." I just dripped on him every few months, because I knew if he ever came in, he had so many connections to business owners who also had employees. And so I would look at, is this a high value, asset as far as connection wise and influence? That person, even if I tell them I'm gonna mark it off my list, I may come back to him with an update deflection in a month or so.
Yeah, that makes sense. So for those people that come back saying, "I'll reach out to you when I'm ready," would you say
you give them their own medicine? You give them a thumbs up. You just thumbs up, like, "Okay, buddy, whatever." Right? And so like you're basically saying whatever, right? That's what the thumbs up on their, I wouldn't even send a thumbs up. That's too much effort. I would thumbs up what they said.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. It sends a message.
Yeah, it sends a message. That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
You got
so
it.
much, Ray.
You got it. Okay. Is this Nino, is it? I'm looking directly at a light. That's why it's hard for me to. Okay. Let's bring you out. All right. What's happening? You're muted.
Hi, Ray. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. No, I went on last week about this Facebook thing, and now I lost the privilege. I don't know if it's just me, but I lost the privilege to code message people.
Did they warn you?
It's just me. I don't know if it's just me or, Facebook changed again.
Did they warn you?
They didn't warn me anything. Because I went to a Facebook group, and I'm trying to help, people with MS, because I have MS, and it helped me. And I'm trying to message them, but I don't have the button for it. Unless I did find a workaround. I guess I have to go to Messenger and then look for their name and then message them.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm not sure what would disable a message from a group. I would just be very careful if you're, especially on Facebook, if you haven't been consistently messaging people, you got to start slow. You got to, send a few messages. Don't go crazy, or else you will get suspended.
All right. Thanks, Ray.
Yep. All right. You got it. Okay. Henry, you able to be on camera? And by the way, if you're on the Zoom and you want me to answer a question for you, help you out, just raise your hand, your digital hand. So click the react button and hit raise hand. Because I imagine we'll still have a little bit of time here. Henry, there he is. All right. Hey, give me, so for you, because I know you're on here consistently, what's a win, personal or business? And then what's your one question?
My win is I'm actually getting better in closing. I think that's one of my main goals that
Amen.
I'm trying to learn, because even that I have, because I'm hammering calls, like I'm doing the no-go, have a no-go, I'm doing 10 pages a day, and then I'm doing a video a day. So with all of that, and with your help and your videos, I've been learning how to, even though they say no, even though they say they join or not, I'm actually learning how to present better and actually communicate and do the close. So,
awesome. So I don't know. Are you in Rank Makers, Henry?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see my video this morning?
I have not.
Okay. So the video this morning I shared, and I shared a kind of a small piece of it on Instagram and Facebook. And so yesterday, at the Russell Brunson event, he brought up an interview he did with Tom Billy, whatever, I can't say his name, but the Tom guy that sold Quest Nutrition for $1 billion. And he said the most important belief that you must have is that the more you do something, the better you can get at it. And that you don't have to be special. You don't have to be unique. You don't have to have been, born into a rich family. But the fact that if you keep working at something, you can get better. And that's the most important belief when it comes to like being an entrepreneur and things like that. And so good for you for embracing that. And it is, right? The more you do something, the better you get at it.
Yeah, no, well, thank you. And the reason why I didn't see it today is because I've been in a hurry. I'm at work, but then at 12, I head out to a convention that I have for 2 days this weekend. So I'm kind of in a rush today, this morning.
Okay.
But I'll watch it eventually.
So what's your question? What's the question?
I know that eventually I'm going to get, well, I have 2 that are like iffy, but I know I'm going to get people to come to my team and actually work with me. What's a good onboarding or an effective onboarding?
I mean, that's not a quick answer there. Geez. So, you want an onboarding that doesn't share every detail that it shares enough details for them to move forward as a new person. And so where do they go to get their questions answered? How do they get a hold of customer support? Where is the, library of training where they can go and learn more? And, and there's other things that, you probably want to be in there. I wouldn't explain the comp plan in a onboarding, but I would point to where they could learn it if they wanted to. And so it's, it's not a, quick thing. I mean, I did a full course on how to create an onboarding. And that's, I think, at higdongroup.com/team builder, higdongroup.com/team builder. It contains several things. Actually, it's the 13 questions that most leaders struggle with. It's the how to create a sales presentation and how to create an onboarding. So it's a pretty jam-packed thing. I think it's $100 or something. But it's just not a quick answer, and I will tell you, give her a shout out. So my friend, Brianna Michelle, she, I think I'm saying her last name right, but she was a client and she was in a company and she was, she had me come on for, I think, 3 or 4 sessions with her and her leaders. And I helped her create her entire onboarding. And then something went wrong with the company. Unfortunately, she goes to a brand new company and I hadn't talked to her in a little bit. And I said, "Hey, how's things going?" She goes, "Ray, I'm the #1 earner." And I'm like, "Holy crap, that's awesome. Congratulations." And she goes, "It's all because of your onboarding. Like we just took what you taught us and we just changed the name obviously and changed the vernacular. And she used that onboarding, and that's what she credited as becoming the #1 income earner. So it is important, for sure. I would also, Henry, I would look at, were you taken through an onboarding? Is there an onboarding you could plug people into? Because even though I know how to do an onboarding, if I was in a company right now, which I'm not, but if I was in a company, and I would love to point people to an onboarding I didn't create. Because I would love to say, hey, all I do is I just plugged into this, and that's all you do too. And you don't need to create one. We got one. And so I would scour the company and see if there's an existing one that's good.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna look for it, because to be honest, if I'm being honest, all the people that I are in my team, my upline, and all those people, that they really they don't know the steps. They don't even know if there's an onboarding. So I'm kind of like, yeah, they might have.
So I would Google. I would go on YouTube. This would be my first attempt, right? So my first attempt would be, I would Google company name onboarding, company name fast start, company name welcome video, and I would just see, can I find anything out there? And if I can't, then I would ask my upline and their upline and their upline. Unless it's a brand new company, I'd be very surprised if there's not something out there. It's probably not going to be perfect, but there's probably something out there.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good. Awesome, man. Well, have fun at your convention, and congrats.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. We're going to Sherry. Probably
Okay.
finish with you, my friend. Sherry, what's happening?
Thank you for taking the time. I know it's gonna be short here. I'm nervous, so give me a break.
Nope.
I'm very intense. I haven't started. I'm on Janelle's team.
Okay.
And I am very intense. So when someone looks at my story, I'm like, hey, how you doing? And then if they don't, or I'll be like, hey, I noticed that you looked at my story. Are you interested in the business or the water? And then sometimes I get a response, sometimes I don't. So I'm like, and I know sometimes going for no, that's a good thing too. So I'm like, do I kind of back off a little bit and start off a little slower? Or?
So it's, I used to teach this. We used to do a thing, and maybe I'll bring it back. I don't know, but we used to do this thing called the 14-day challenge. And it was mainly teaching marketing and psychology. And one of the things that I taught in there was, if you think about like the sales cycle, I guess I call it, is, like most people are not ready to buy. Okay. Very, very small percentage of people. Like they're, you say, Harry, are you looking at the water of the business? You know what? I'm actually looking at the business, like that'll be a pretty low percentage of people. Okay. Most people, they're in NMI, right? So I would say 98% of people minimum is in NMI. They need more information.
Mm-hmm.
So it's similar to, like, you're about to see a whole slew of people break all marketing psychology with Black Friday. They're going to be like, hey, it's buy one, get one, essential oils. And, people are like, oh, I'm not really, and so they don't know that they need essential oils. They need more information, but you're pitching as if they're ready to buy. And so it's, you'll see that. And hey, with just sheer traffic and sheer numbers, even people that aren't good at pitching can make some sales, right? And then they're like, yippee, I made some sales. But if they would have led with value or led with information, they would have built a list of people they could follow up with, and they would have 10 times their sales. And so the other kind of pertinent thing here is something I teach called position. What is the position of the prospect? So if I can get, so like, I know hardly anyone does this anymore for some reason, but a lot of people, they like to just keyboard warrior and just DM people, and that's how they make their sales. They don't want to get on a call, right? And me, I always like to get on a call because I can hear your tone. I can hear your sighs. I can hear, where you're confused, and that can be hidden in keyboard stuff. And so, I need, if I like to get on a call after someone had seen a presentation, after someone had seen a video, after they'd done something, right? And so position. So someone who sees your story, all right, then that's it. They didn't comment on it. They didn't like it. They didn't, they just saw it, right? I would, if I'm at an absolute lack of leads, then fine, I'll reach out to them, right? I mean, I would always try to get better at generating leads and generating interest, or just flat out cold reaching out to people. But if I'm not doing any of that, someone looks at, sniffs in my general direction, I may talk to them, but I'm going to talk to them at the position they're at, which is position 0. So position 0 is always going to be, hey, hey, I saw that I see that you took a look at my story. Are you open at all at hearing about what it is that I do to help people get healthier? Or are you open at all to hearing about how I help people make extra money on social media? So it's going to be, are you open, right? When we say, and open is different than interested, right?
That's what I meant to say that. That's what I do. I say, are you open to learning more about the water or about the business?
And you don't want to lead. So it's totally fine to lead with the product or to lead with the opportunity. Not good to lead with both. And so I would just, so when do you? Well, when do you do? It's whatever you're most comfortable with. So if you're more comfortable with business, hey, are you open to taking a look at how I help people make extra money on social media, or how I help people make extra money on the side? And if you don't feel comfortable with that, you could say, are you at all open to taking a look at how we, right? Because we represents the company and the system and the process. So people who haven't, made a whole lot of sales like that might be, a safer, kind of thing to say versus I am the guru, right? If you feel that way. Does that make sense?
Thank you. Yeah, it does. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate that.
Awesome. You got it. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys a fun update here. So I just this morning at 4 a.m, actually 2 a.m. here in Boise, but I'm still on East Coast time. I wrote chapter 9, I think. Let me look. Yeah, chapter 9. So I wrote chapter 9 of my my next book coming out. I don't know when it's going to come out, but I wrote chapter 9, 2 a.m, Boise time. And it's the book is called The Freedom Framework. And what I'm doing is I'm breaking down as many of the beliefs that I've helped people with, such as, but not limited to, I'm not important, abuse me, I'll show you, it won't work, I'm not enough, it won't last, people don't like me, people will betray me. I'm breaking all of that stuff down, and all of that is from me just coaching a lot of people over the last 20 years. So here's what I know I can do. I can help you in one session identify your beliefs that are disempowering you, your beliefs that are keeping you from taking the action you wish you could be taking. And I can do that literally in one session. And I've done that with hundreds of people. Some of you have been at events recently where I sat with a long line of people, and in literally minutes, I'm like, hey, do you believe this, this, and this? And they're like, oh my God, yes. How do you know that? And I don't even have any context. And so it's an interesting thing. I call it the Freedom Framework. If you'd like me to help you with that, you can send me a message. We can discuss it, see if we do a session together or whatever. But you can shoot me in the DMs. I read my messages, but you can send me a message on Instagram or Facebook. I'd be happy to connect with you. I may or may not ask you for context, but you can send me a message. I'd be happy to try to help you, because here's what I know. You can be aware of all the tactics in the world, all the strategies in the world. You can be aware of every single action you should be taking, and still not take them because of your belief system. For example, I guarantee you there's many people watching right now that you have in your belief system based on observations as a kid that it won't last. So if you're trying to build a business that involves other people and you have a belief that it won't last, it is not logical for you to go all in, and it's not ethical, because if it won't last, you don't want to screw these other people. So literally, you can't go all in until you become aware of that thing and you change it, and you can, and I help with that. And so if you would like to learn more about that, if you'd like to connect with me, send me a message on DM, Instagram, or Facebook. And then those of my Rankmaker lifers, I will see you here. Okay, I got to do the time zone conversion here. So it's now 10 Boise. All right, 12. So it's in an hour, right? Yeah, in 1 hour. Okay. So Rankmaker lifers, I'll see you guys in 1 hour. We're going to do our private group coaching. And I just appreciate you guys so much. So God bless you guys. I appreciate you. Have an amazing, amazing weekend. If I don't see you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.